you lose face by doing that. But I don't think, and hear me out, I don't think the gay rights movement is behind this at all.
Moving on to the culture corner and kind of parlaying on David's little, multiple gender thing and all that kind of stuff and finding oppression where it's not. Apparently, it is highly oppressive for a professional athlete in any sport, in this case, the NHL, hockey, for any athlete to have his opinions that are not sufficiently down with the prevailing narrative. And what we're referring to is this week, a defenseman for the Philadelphia Flyers named Ivan Provorov did not want to participate in, the pregame skate around or the pregame warm up, where it was agreed between the teams that they would wear pride paraphernalia, whether it be shirts or whatever the case may be, not their jerseys that they were going to wear in the game. And Provorov, who is, I believe, a Russian Orthodox Christian, said, that goes against my faith. I'm not going to do it. I think his exact words were something along the lines of, I'm not saying anything bad about anybody else. You can have your lifestyle and you can do whatever you want. I'm not saying bad about anybody. I'm just saying for me and mine, I'm not going to do that. And for that, he was the world's worst person for about a 72-hour news cycle.
What's weird is if you forced somebody of a different religion to try to wear somebody else's religious symbol, they would refuse it too, and nobody would shit their pants over it. Yeah. This is sexuality, and it's not. It has no bearing on whether or not a hockey game is played. So why does everything have to be the over prevailing narrative? Like, why does it have to infiltrate every aspect of our entire lives? Like, when's the last time a hockey player killed a gay guy?
Never seen it.
He might have given him a heavy check on the ice unwittingly, not knowing that he was gay, just playing the game. But what I'm saying is, like, it has no business in hockey. It has no business in all these other things that they're just forcing it down our throats. And that's where it really becomes, you lose face by doing that. But I don't think, and hear me out, I don't think the gay rights movement is behind this at all. I think that it's more, what we see, what is it called on social media? Virtue signaling from major corporations to say, hey, we're one of you. We're one of you. So if we don't put up our gay prize, if we don't turn our Nike sign gay with the rainbow flag, if we don't turn our Adidas sign rainbow, then we're not members of the tribe. But I don't think that gay people would participate in anything less or would participate in anything more if they found out that they didn't wear a rainbow jersey or change their symbol to a rainbow symbol at any given time. I think they'd still buy Nike. They still if they're into the hockey, National Hockey League, they'd watch hockey. They would watch they wouldn't change their lives at all until that corporation committed a hate crime against their gender. Then maybe they change it. Until then.
I mean, of course. And we talked about this and I'm not going to say the word so I don't get this segment blotted out. We're already going to lose at least one segment talking about the C word. But during the time of the C, the last 2.5, 3 years, we brought up this point often, is that the one thing that the regime cannot handle is a single nail sticking up, because what a single nail does is it provides the counter narrative. And if there is a counter narrative out there that can prove whatever they want the prevailing narrative to be true and correct and virtuous or whatever they want it to be, if there's one counter narrative out there that could destroy the prevailing narrative, then they can't have that. That's why if you have 95% compliance with anything, they will obsess ridiculously over the last 5% not following the rules or toting the line. In this case, saying the right things or putting on the right shirt. And that's what it's about. It's fundamentally about control. I think David's right. I think most of the LGBTQIA plus community probably doesn't lose much sleep over whether or not one hockey player says that, well, because of my religious belief, I choose not to wear the jersey. I think most of them are probably either not watching hockey or they're too busy. They have a lot bigger fish to fry in their lives than whether he wears a shirt or not, or they just have all kinds of other things to be concerned about other than that. I think that the ones that are pushing this are basically two camps. It's the one camp's the megalomaniacal, tyrants and wannabe tyrants that want everybody to fall in line and say whatever it is they tell them to say. And it's the legions of useful idiots who follow along with that just because they want to be a part of the in crowd and they want to be popular and they want to be looked at as having all of the right opinions, right? Those are the two camps that are pushing this. Not even the group that was allegedly wronged by him not wearing a shirt. So, I mean, that's where it is. And as soon as society comes to that conclusion, that different groups are not actually as oppressed as much as the perception is the reality from the regime and their opinion molders want to tell you that it is, as soon as society comes to that conclusion, then we can stop letting these morons divide us along ridiculous lines that mean nothing. And we can look together towards who is the real problem. And it's them. It's the ones who can't let people have their own opinion and live their own life, even if they disagree with it. Those are the people that are the problem. And as soon as we all figure that out, they're going to be gone very quickly because it's a very small minority, but a very loud minority of people that are trying to force other people to have opinions that they don't approve of.
And by the way, just if you asked a member of the LGBTQ
IA plus, I think.
IA plus. Okay, I haven't learned my new vernacular. I'll do better next time. If you asked them last week, was it Alex or Alec? Who Alex Provorov or
Ivan Provorov.
Worse.
As Russian as you can get, my guy.
As Russian as the hammer and sickle that crosses it. Anyway, if you asked them who their favorite defender in the NHL was, they'd probably ask you what the NHL was. No offense to you guys. I don't know a lot of Americans that watch hockey. It's a very small segment comparatively to the NFL and so on and so forth. And again, after he didn't wear the jersey, unless it was broadcast on national media saying that he didn't, they would have no fucking idea that he didn't wear it. So it wouldn't have even been a thing if they didn't make it a thing.
The outrage machine just gears up.
They just want it. It's like they want to cause the controversy to make another topic because they have no fucking idea how to do their jobs any other way other than just create a problem out of nothing, which seems to be most of our society, or at least where most of our society is paying attention to instead of the real shit that's happening. Like, I don't know, an Epstein didn't kill himself moment that happened this week.
Yeah. And I mean, just because I found it, I wanted to give Provorov the last word because he deserves it. And just preface it by saying, if this statement is just like the end of the world, a terrible thing to you, with all due disrespect, fuck off. I mean, because this is the most innocuous statement you could have possibly made about it. This is what Provorov said, and I quote, "I respect everybody, and I respect everybody's choices. My choice is to stay true to myself and my religion. That's all I'm going to say." So that's all we're going to say.
Mic drop.